Good Saturday afternoon, South Carolina Weather Watchers. I am the host for South Carolina Weather, Joseph Peterson, and let's go ahead and start off with the weather or your midday update because I did not make a video this morning. That was my apologies. I did have to go do something this morning, so that's why I did not make one this morning. I forgot to mention that last night. But here's your midday update. As you can see, as of now, South Carolina is looking clear. No precipitation is falling at this time. If we go ahead and switch over to the MRMS, as you can see, it seems like that we do have some heavy precipitation, especially down here inside of Arkansas, Texas, and Louisiana. We even have a mesoscale discussion. You see this little green outline right here. That is a mesoscale discussion. There's going to be heavy flooding in this region for places like Dallas, Abilene, Fort Worth, Odessa, Texas, Tyler, Texas, just to the south of Lubbock, Texas as well. So definitely some flooding in those regions as well. So some isolated showers up there inside Kansas, and maybe even some isolated showers down there in Alabama and Mississippi, as well as up here in Maine as well. And then same thing up there inside of New York. Going on ahead and looking at the West Coast. The West Coast is looking actually not bad. It's actually looking like it's going to be a really nice day for the West today. So continuing on, cloud cover right now. It looks like that there is scattered clouds out there, scattered kind of stray clouds out there. Looks like some high clouds out there as of now. So it's gonna be I'd say kind of a partly cloudy day. Sun's definitely out for most people, but I would not be surprised, if the sun goes away for like a couple of minutes or so. But the cloud cover right now, it looks pretty wispy, and it doesn't look like that it's gonna cover a lot. Here's our cloud cover tracker for the next 18 hours. As you can see, as I move this thing forward, you can see that the clouds are going to actually start to move off to the east. And when they do, they're going to try and start to kind of connect back together and try to cover the sky again, leaving almost no clear skies at all, pretty much. That's what they're trying to do. Obviously, some pockets of some clear skies cannot be ruled out, but it looks like by the time we get to like tomorrow morning, especially when that rain starts to get in, that those clouds are going to pretty much take over, and it looks like it's going to be a really cloudy day tomorrow. Here you can see we do have our current temperatures: 86 in Columbia, 84 in Charleston, 80 in Myrtle Beach, 82 in Rock Hill, 80 in Greenville, 82 in Anderson, 88 in Augusta and Savannah as well. So those are our current temperatures. Here's our high temperatures for today. High temperatures can reach around mainly the mid 80s, the mid 80s, pretty much from the Midlands all the way down towards the coast. Maybe some isolated 90s just to the west of Hilton Head, but up there inside of the upstate, you can see we're probably only going to get to around the high 70s, low 80s up there. So it's going to be a pretty hot day today, even still, even with most of the upstate being cooler than most of South Carolina. We're gonna get sustained winds. Sustained winds are around 8 to 9 miles an hour today. Maybe a good 10 to 15 one cannot be ruled out. Maybe even a 20 near the coast cannot be ruled out as well. And then here's our wind gust as well. Wind gust can gust of up to mainly, I'd say, around 15 to 20 miles an hour, with isolated gust up there inside the upstate around 30 mile an hour near the mountains. That's definitely cannot be ruled out. And then here's our forecast precipitation for the next 24 hours, or should I say the next 7 hours. As you can see, we have a good half an inch cannot be ruled out for like places like Moncks Corner, Walterboro as well. Myrtle Beach can get around a half an inch, definitely possible. In places like North Myrtle Beach and all the way up towards like Loris and places like that, can definitely see around an inch. Definitely cannot be ruled out at all. And if you're up there inside the upstate, you're not going to get too much. Maybe a tenth to a quarter of an inch, but I think the main rain is going to be near the coast, especially. And then here is our SPC outlook. We have a marginal risk of severe weather going into today, April the 20th, 2024. Go on ahead and look at our 4-day panel. You can see no threat really for a tornado, but definitely a chance for wind that goes all the way for portions of like eastern South Carolina. If you're in the upstate, you're pretty much good for when it comes to this. But like if you look at the wind outlook, because this is what this is mainly for. Damaging wind possible like for like Beaufort, Charleston, Myrtle Beach, Florence, Sumter, Columbia, Augusta, all those places for sure. And if you go to the hail threat, we have a bit of a hail threat again for those same areas that I just called out, mainly except for Augusta and Beaufort as well. But like Myrtle Beach, Charleston, Florence, Columbia, Sumter, Rock Hill, all those places still gonna have to watch out for some hail as well. And if you go down here and look at the discussion, there's a marginal risk. If you can see, it says marginally severe storm capable of strong wind gusts and hail will be possible mainly this afternoon / the evening across portions of central and south Texas and from southern Mississippi into southern North Carolina. So it's gonna be pretty. It's gonna be a nighttime threat. It's gonna be interesting to see how this all plays out. But if you scroll down, I don't think they really talk about it much. No, they don't. So they do talk about isolated scattered storms development. The more widespread convection is expected across Texas to the north of the front. So they talk about Texas there. So yeah, there is a marginal risk that goes all the way from Texas. It's like central Texas all the way up into North Carolina as well. Let's go ahead and look at the models and see what they show. So I'm going to go ahead and switch back over to scene 2. And we're going to go ahead and look at what the radar could potentially look like as we get into tonight and tomorrow as well. You can already see by like 6 o'clock, we have storms already popping up near Fayetteville. Definitely capable of producing some damaging winds and maybe even some hail as well. And we continue moving this east, and you can see these showers over here near Bennettsville, Jefferson. Definitely some isolated thunderstorms popping up in this region around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock maybe even. And then we continue pushing this forward even more, and you can start to see those storms kind of like dissipate. This is like tomorrow, so the storms are really gone by tomorrow, but it's really these storms right here that we're watching for. Around 6 to 12 a.m. is around what we're watching for. But if you look at like more models and like kind of go to like the more recent models, from what they show, they're actually showing something very different, showing the storms being a bit more widespread. As you can see, continue moving this east, you start to see the storms thing is right. The storms up there in North Carolina are still there, but they start to bring those storms, especially in this region right here, mainly the low country and up there towards the PD region. They really start to give those areas storms as well. So honestly, it's really just a throw up in the air if you will get storms or not. I do not plan on going live for this because it's only a marginal risk, and there's really no threat for a tornado at all, so I don't think there's really a point. Just a chance for some hail and some damaging winds. In terms of ingredients-wise, if you're going ahead and look at the dew points, I think we had 70-degree dew points yesterday, so it was moist. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was moist yesterday. So that I went outside when I was going to my next class, and I mean, it just felt humid outside. I think we had dew points like up in like the low 70s. So yes, it was pretty moist out there yesterday. So if a storm definitely got, especially into this area, as you can see, we already have dew points inside like the high 60s, maybe even the low 70s as we're talking right now, into mainly portions of like the low country all the way up into the PD region. So it's still moist out there right now. So moving on to the east, you can see those dew points are still there. There goes the cold front. You can see like kind of like the green and the blue gradient. That's the cold front. That's passing by at around 5 a.m. And then if you go on ahead and move on, again, I think that this is going to be pretty much a Cape event. I don't really see winds really being an issue. I mean, you can look at the wind. You can see that there are some, especially like right here, you can see like the little purples right there. But if you go on ahead and look at the Cape for this, go ahead and check out the surface-based Cape. You can see the Cape really building into the region, and I think that this is going to be a mainly thermodynamic event. And it's going to be hot out there as well, so that's also going to help the storms fire up even more. And there's no rain. There's no morning rain. Remember we said that morning rain kills off storms because it doesn't get as hot. There's no morning rain. The sun is out, and It's destabilizing the atmosphere. So if a storm does get going in one of these prime regions, definitely gonna have to watch out for that. But I'm not really seeing the tornado threat. If we had those 500 millibar winds, we may see an isolated tornado or two, but those winds are just not cranking enough. But definitely still, just watch out. Damaging winds and hail is definitely possible. And that's all that I have. No excessive rainfall is also possible for today, so I probably should have got that out the way. But that's all that I have. Storms are going to be popping up around 6 to 12 a.m. So definitely watch out for that. And we will be back. I will be back at 9 p.m. tonight, actually. So if you want to be out, see what's going on for tonight and tomorrow as well, because I do think that tomorrow is going to be a pretty rainy day for most. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that tonight at 9 p.m. So make sure that you're there, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be back tonight. I just said that tonight for another forecast update.